The European election gives people across Europe the opportunity to shape politics for the next 5 years. A total of 736 members of the European Parliament, the so-called MEPs, are elected to represent some 500 million Europeans, making this the biggest transnational election in history. And with the slogan, "It's your choice," the European Parliament made an attempt to urge citizens to cast their vote in national polling stations all across Europe. How is the atmosphere in Brussels at election night? Outside the European Parliament, everything seems surprisingly calm, and there is no sign of the big event that is taking place. Let's take a look inside. What's going on behind the scenes? At least organization of the event seems to run smoothly and even attracts attention from beyond the European border.
We are here to observe the process first of all. We were in the UK and we were in Germany this morning. After observing the process, we are now here to see how the compilation and the proclamation of the results go. This is why we are here basically.
How do you perceive the European election night here in Brussels?
It's a really exciting night to be here. Like everybody is really concerned with the European elections, and I think like outside of Brussels it doesn't happen so much.
Well, I feel it very crowded. I think there's a lot of interest from the media, especially on the results of this election.
Well, it's tense. I wouldn't say hectic. It's not comparable to national elections, I think.
Even in Brussels, the so-called heart of Europe, it seems like nation-states are again in the center of attention.
All the people basically try to interpret the elections and then on a national level.
While politicians are busy voting and speculating in the member states, journalists seem to dominate the scene.
There's 27 member states trying to get an eye onto what's happening in Brussels, so this is where they had to be.
The image of the EU being remote from its citizens seems to be reflected in the atmosphere of the election night.
I expected more things to happen actually than there is going on right now.
At national elections you can feel excitement and emotions in the air when the results are announced. Looking at the European election night, cutting the cake is a rather formal performance. Europe has still a long way to go until not only the elite, but also the citizens get an appetite in the European cake.